Look around modern society. People are richer, more connected, and have access to more physical luxuries than any generation in human history. We have instant communication, automated comfort, and endless entertainment in the palm of our hand. Yet anxiety levels, burnout, and quiet desperation are at an all-time high. Why? Because we fell for a massive cultural lie. The lie that accumulation equals evolution. We spend our entire lives chasing more. More money, bigger houses, faster cars, higher status. But have you ever noticed what happens the moment you achieve those things? You don't feel free, you feel target painted. You feel the constant heavy pressure to maintain what you just acquired and the immediate anxiety of needing the next upgrade to stay relevant. Ancient wisdom unlocked a secret psychological truth centuries ago. When your external lifestyle becomes bloated, your internal life inevitably collapses. Today, we are breaking down why simplicity isn't just an aesthetic choice or a minimalist trend. It is the ultimate competitive advantage for your mental health, your focus, and your freedom. Let's dissect the psychology of excess. When you accumulate possessions and status symbols primarily to impress others, you do not build genuine respect. You ignite latent envy. Think about human behavior for a moment. When someone sees an ultra-luxury car driving down the street, they rarely look at the driver and admire their character. They simply imagine themselves in that seat, or they wonder if the driver is compensating for something. Excessive displays of wealth do not draw authentic human connection. They draw hostility, comparison, subtle resentment, and superficial people who only care about what you can offer them. The ancients warned that trying to prove your dignity by flexing material goods is a trap. It forces you to live in a state of constant social defense. Furthermore, every single luxury item you buy comes with an invisible tax. There is the financial cost, which is obvious. But the heavier price is the energy required to maintain it, the anxiety of losing or damaging it, and the psychological pressure to replace it when a newer version comes out. When you live at your maximum financial and mental limit, you render yourself fragile. A single shift in circumstances, a sudden change in the economy, or an unexpected setback can shatter your world. But when you intentionally keep your living baseline simple, you build an unshakable inner fortress. You instantly regain complete control over your time, your money, and your peace of mind. Now let's look at the physics of human attention. Your mind has a finite amount of cognitive bandwidth each day. Every unnecessary desire, every unresolved social rivalry, and every physical asset you hoard acts like background software running on a computer screen. You might not notice it consciously, but it silently drains your battery day after day. The historical texts call this process internal refinement, the intentional practice of clearing out toxic mental clutter to unlock profound mental clarity. When you simplify your immediate environment and consciously lower your desire for useless items, three powerful transformations take place. First, decision fatigue drops to zero. You no longer waste precious morning energy deciding what to wear, how to impress people, or what status game to play. Second, your focus multiplies effortlessly. When you aren't constantly distracted by missing desires, all of your mental horsepower gets channeled directly into high-impact work, creativity, and deep learning. And third, your internal peace is no longer held hostage by external circumstances. You become immune to the economic chaos and social noise around you. Simplicity is not about poverty, and it is not about giving up your ambition. It is about total efficiency. It is about channeling 100% of your energy into what actually matters, rather than scattering it across 100 trivial short-term flexes. Consider how this applies to our wider world. There is a fundamental law in nature. An environment always reflects the collective mindset of the people residing in it. When an entire culture becomes obsessed with short-term greed, quick shortcuts, and superficial flexes, the social atmosphere becomes toxic. You see this reflected in hyper-competitive corporate environments, fractured communities, and the endless outrage machine of modern social media. When everyone is trying to take more than they give, the system breaks down for everyone. A clean vessel holds pure water. A stagnant drain spreads contamination. You cannot single-handedly fix or control the entire world, but you have absolute power over your immediate ecosystem. When you live with integrity, discipline, and intentional simplicity, you create an island of order in a sea of chaos. That calm, focused energy becomes contagious to your family, your peers, and your community. So how do you actually translate this philosophy into a practical daily strategy starting today? You don't need to throw away your possessions or isolate yourself. You simply need to apply a 3-step reality check. Number 1. Benchmark your baseline. Stop measuring your standard of living against what the top 1% flexes on your screen. Intentionally define what is truly necessary for your health, your comfort, and your focus, and set that as your benchmark. Live below your means not because you lack resources, but because you value your independence far more than temporary flexes. Number 2. Audit your mental inputs. Be ruthless about what you allow into your head. Cut out mindless social media scrolling, petty gossip, toxic rivalries, and consumerist status games that yield zero long-term value. Treat your attention as your most valuable asset on Earth. And number 3, redirect the surplus. This is the most crucial step when you save time, money, and emotional energy by living simply. Do not let those resources sit idle. Channel that excess back into mastering your craft, upgrading your health, building real relationships, and contributing to causes bigger than yourself. True power is not showing the world how much you can accumulate. True power is needing very little to be completely undisturbed, completely focused, and completely free. If this perspective brought clarity to your day, hit the subscribe button, share your thoughts in the comments below, and start simplifying your world today.